Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamsolo. Enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamsolo. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Two Player Podcast with me, Matt Likes Games. It's Hamsolo, my buddy Hamsolo as well. First of all, how are you doing, Ham? Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's early. It's early for me, and I'm iffy right now, but I'm gonna get through it because we're gonna have a great show. But how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here. Very first episode, new podcast on your channel, which it hasn't really done streaming before, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, everything goes good for your side, because I know you're controlling the whole thing and whatnot. Yes. So I'm happy. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy I didn't have to do a whole hell of a lot. I just had to show up. So this is awesome. What's up, everybody? I see you guys in the chat. What's cracking?
Yeah, what's up in the chat? Let me know how it sounds, because on my end, it looks like it sounds good. The levels seem right and everything, but I mean, let me know if anything sounds off, and I'll do my best to fix it. But there's a ton to talk about, like a whole ton. Obviously, you know, the big news, the Judge Corley, the judge siding with Microsoft in their fight against FTC to buy Activision Blizzard, denying the preliminary injunction for the FTC, and also the CMA working with Microsoft to hash out some details to maybe get this thing pushed through over there in the UK as well. Good news all around if you're an Xbox fan. A lot of people are not Xbox fans, apparently. They're taking it quite bad. A lot of people are down horrendous, I guess you could say. Down horrendous. And it's fun to see. It's also kind of sad to see, quite frankly. But we're going to start with the big news, obviously. Now I'm gonna bring it up here, if I can do that. I can't. Oh my god, this is terrible. Oh, there we go. Thank goodness. Okay, yeah. Microsoft wins FTC fight to buy Activision Blizzard. Now, this obviously the big news yesterday. Um, Absolutely huge. California Judge Corley, I believe was her name, is allowing Microsoft to close its acquisition of Activision Blizzard after 5 days of grueling testimony. 5 days. Oh, well, I guess technically 5 days of grueling testimony. Microsoft still faces an ongoing antitrust case by the Federal Trade Commission, but Jacqueline Scott Corley has listened to both arguments from the FTC and Microsoft and decided to deny the regulator's request for a preliminary injunction. Um, Ham, what? I mean, I'm assuming just like me, you woke up yesterday and saw this news. What was your first thought?
So I was already awake when it happened, and I was just kind of just chilling. I think I was getting ready for my stream with K Mega, or no, it was Loke.
Mm-hmm.
I was just getting ready for the stream with Loke. Loke was sending me. He was literally sending me the topics that we were going to talk about, and I looked at our chat, that we have, and I just seen somebody post about it, and of course I just hit the home button for Twitter, and it is just littered. it was just littered everywhere. So as soon as I seen that, it was funny because I had got off the phone with Loke. I called Loke right back, and I was like, bro. He was like, yo, what's up? And I was like, yo. And he's like, what? And I was like, dude, it happened. And he was so disappointed. Not because the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal happened, but because he literally just got done with the topic.
Yep.
And it seems like every single time he gets done with the topics, something big in gaming happens, and he has to just rewrite his whole script for the show. So I think it's hilarious. But I was ecstatic when it happened yesterday. I was all in on Black. So
I saw
I was telling everybody,
be insufferable this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have been so far. People have been in my or at me saying all sorts of different stuff because of what I said. I just said that, we held the line and it hurt some people, but
Oh yeah.
You wanted competition. You just didn't get it the way you wanted it. And that's just the way it is. Have to live with that, bud.
Yeah, true, man. I saw your post, and I see every now and then I'll get a notification, and I see stupid bots, you dumb bots, have fun having no games, just people having breakdowns in your replies over there, and it's a fun time. Honestly, I get a laugh every time I check my notifications. I saw somebody arguing about I don't even know what they were arguing about, but it's just funny over there. But yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as Ham on that. I woke up, I saw that, and we were all expecting it, but at the same time, it's just nuts to see. And then also you get the double whammy of this news, and on top of that, they're working with the CMA to hash out some details to perhaps get this pushed through even quicker, which is great, honestly. I mean, I was on Ham and Loke's show yesterday for a little bit, and I said, thank goodness, it's over. Obviously, it's not over, but this is the biggest step towards it being over. This whole part is over, and we don't have to worry about the FTC or whatever dumb nonsense they want to do now. We can move past that, and we're a huge step closer to finally getting this done. And so many people hate it, and it's nuts to see, honestly. People deleting their accounts, people having full on breakdowns.
The deleting the account part is insane because the people that are deleting their accounts are the ones that are the most insufferable.
Yeah.
When something goes in their favor. So
yes.
I just think it's insane that they want to run away, but they always seem whenever they're in other people's, DMs or they're in other people's or they're at other people and whatnot, they like to tell them how much they should be keeping it real or they need to man up and just take their L and all this. But as soon as they get, an L hand delivered, they just cannot, they cannot take it. So they run. And it's tragic.
It's time to man up and take that L, folks. It's time to man up and take that L because it's there for you, and it's not that big of a deal. Just take the L, and hey, you live to fight another day. But there's been all sorts of takes and everything. I know we talked about some of those yesterday on your guys' show, but yeah, I mean, all in all, people. You're either ecstatic about this or you're absolutely, what it seems like, you're either ecstatic or you're absolutely disheveled. You're in shambles. And there's not many people who are in between on this. I've seen a few, but it's very rare. But I do appreciate anybody stopping by. I want to say that because chat is pretty active so far, and that's much appreciated. David Dershala, appreciate you for stopping by. Hard Days Mike, obviously appreciate you, bud. Too Big. We've got Blind Giants here as well. It's much appreciated, all you guys. And Ham over on his Ham over on TSWS Gaming. Appreciate that as well. But I mean, we could honestly drag this out because there's a lot. In fact, this article here is quite big. I want to read this statement from Brad Smith because I honestly don't think I have at this point. Okay, so Brad Smith in the statement on yesterday's decision says, "We're grateful to the court in San Francisco for this quick and thorough decision and hope our jurisdictions will continue working towards a timely resolution. As we've demonstrated consistently throughout this process, we are committed to working creatively and collaboratively to address regulatory concerns." Now, well, I mean, that does make sense. They're doing everything they can to get this thing to go through. And so Ham, when do you think this, it's as simple as this, like it's over now? Like, do you think it's as simple as that?
Well, first of all, Matt, I always almost call you Mike. And it's the same way the other way around with Mike. I always almost call him Matt. Drives me insane. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, turn your mic up a bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, up. You know how to do that through OBS, correct?
Well, my mic's all the way up on OBS, but I can turn it up on possibly my system sounds.
Possibly. If not, I can teach you how to turn it up on OBS even more.
Okay, how am I sounding now?
I don't know, but they would know. It'd have to be going through OBS.
Yeah, I was on 60 out of 100. I'm now on 90. So we should be much better, Mike. Let me know in the chat, though, please. I'm sorry, Ham. Continue.
Oh, okay. Mike said much better. Perfect. Okay. All right.
There we go. Perfect.
So let's go on ahead and continue. What up, Mr. Joanna Dark Poppin in the chat? Up? Good to see you. You were asking if I think this is like just over, if it's just going to go through. Yes.
Yeah,
I do. I personally could be wrong. I'm not an analyst. Don't know any of this stuff. I'm just talking from the heart of a gamer that wants to see this go through and be over with. I personally think that in the sense of what's kind of been going on in the news and whatnot, not Judge Corley, but Lena Khan having to go up against Congress and with the CMA talking about, oh, let's look at some remedies. In my opinion, that just sounds like it just might be just going through. But at the same time, Tom Warren did say something a few hours ago about the CMA is now warning that Microsoft deal could lead to a new merger investigation if it restructures. If it's restructured, the CMA says discussions with Microsoft are still in very early stages, which is something that's it's not exciting to hear.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think that especially if it comes to Friday and we don't hear any kind of kickback at all with the appeal, like it's done. It's done then. It's done. As of right now, it's just kind of like it's kind of weird. Kind of like you're in that part of a level in a video game where you gotta walk crouched and like there's clickers all over the place or something like that. Or like you just don't want to like cause any extra drama. You just want to open that door and just get out of the building and all it good. I think that's Microsoft right now going through the whole FTC thing, just hoping that they just don't disrupt anything else. But who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I mean, tomorrow's Thursday. Really, we got 2 more days, but at the same time, you just never know. And this stuff can be messy. So I'm just sitting over here like it's done, but I know it's technically not.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel much the same way I felt before we got this ruling, where I was like 80-20, they're going to it's gonna be good news, but at the same time I wouldn't be surprised if something happened. Much like I expect this to be done now, but I also wouldn't be surprised if the FTC said, "Hey, we're gonna appeal." Like that wouldn't surprise me really. I think it would be kind of dumb, especially considering they're fighting a bunch of battles on their themselves right now. I feel like they got their hands quite busy, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like you said. I'm not an analyst. You're not an analyst. We don't know. This is all just gut feeling stuff. I think it's pretty much done. I think the biggest thing here is probably the CMA, which we touched on a little bit. And you brought up Tom Warren made that tweet earlier a few hours ago. There were talks yesterday that there were some negotiations going on around perhaps xCloud. I don't think that was official or anything, but that was kind of the speculation from people who might know that there were talks around perhaps the divestiture of xCloud or maybe just getting rid of xCloud in general in the UK.
Which is insane.
Which is nuts. And it's like, I guess before I answer, I want to ask you, do you think that's something Microsoft would do? Just get rid of, like, to push this deal through, would they get rid of xCloud in the UK?
Now you're saying would Microsoft or would the CMA want to do that?
Would Microsoft do that? If the CMA said, in order to do this, xCloud can't be in the UK.
Well, I think Microsoft is dunking however way possible. So like if they're blocking, to the side, Microsoft is windmilling it and bringing it over to the other side or something like that. Like no matter what, the deal is getting dunked for Microsoft. So if they need something and it doesn't really harm the whole deal, it just harms technically. It's crazy because what we're talking about is possibly harming the UK consumer.
Yeah, 100%.
And it sounds like the CMA, or it sounds like what could be, is the CMA's advocating for them to have less than the rest of the world. So I don't know if that's even gonna be on the table, but hey, you know,
Yeah. See, the only reason I think that's a possible. I mean,
oh boy, yeah, okay, good, I can hear you now. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if anybody can hear you.
I'm gonna set it up like that. I'm gonna get rid of an NVIDIA broadcast for right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, Mr. Joy in the Dark said no sound. We can't hear you. From Hard Days. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we should be good now. I just got rid of NVIDIA broadcast. I'll fix that after the show. But the only reason I feel like this has a possibility of being an outcome is the fact that, you know, people in the UK who know that more than I ever could. Okay, make sure mic volume is up. Is my mic volume down, Mike? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, because people like Jez Corden say that they could definitely see their government doing something to screw over their consumers in such a way.
Yeah, but Jez is also he's just negative.
He's pessimistic about
everything.
This whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's not like a negative dude. Like, in general, he's just about anything government.
Yes.
He gets very, like, disassociates quite a bit. He just goes the other direction.
Doesn't seem to have a lot of faith in it. And, you know, I'll tell you what, if something like that happens, then I can't say I blame him particularly, because that is one hell of a way to screw over your consumers. If you're getting rid of xCloud in your entire country, that's just nuts. But we're gonna see how that pans out. But I think it goes through. I think they work something out to have xCloud and the UK, perhaps maybe letting, I don't know how divestiture works, but from what I understand, maybe letting someone else, another business, oversee xCloud, or do that. And when I'm speaking directly into my mic, I sound fine. Well, I'll keep doing that, Mike. But yeah, maybe another business can oversee xCloud in the UK. Who knows? We'll figure all that out at some point later down the line. But for right now, it's all good news for Xbox. A lot of stuff to be celebrated right now, and it's a great week so far. So, with that being said, I think we can move on to the next. Unless you want to add anything, to this topic? Oh, FTC versus Microsoft.
Not too much, really. I mean, other than just what to look out for. I mean, obviously, we're still looking out for the CMA. We're still looking out for the end of this FTC thing, because what we're really expecting possibly is a closing by like Monday. I believe the deadline is really actually like Tuesday or something like that. So, so yeah, the deadline is next Tuesday, the 18th. So I'm expecting, or most people are expecting, the deal to close by the 17th, which is on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this goes. But yeah, as of right now, I'm pretty sure that's all I need to say on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But yeah, there's also, isn't there also a deadline for Friday?
For Friday? Oh no, I can't hear you again. But okay, you're kind of cutting in and cutting out. But anyways, but as for Friday, there's a deadline for the FTC to have put in the appeal
Oh, okay. That's what that is.
for this. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm gonna start the next topic and speak for a second when when I do, and I'm gonna try to fix this mic. But the next topic I want to talk about is actually something that I would be super hyped for, and I know a lot of people would be, and that's a Red Dead Redemption remaster. I know last week that got rated in Korea, and people kind of lost their minds, and a lot of people are saying to not get it super excited about it because you saw what they did with GTA and the trilogy, and it was pretty awful. But I mean, for some dumb reason, I continue to have faith that they won't mess up Red Dead Redemption. We'll find out. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on a Red Dead Redemption remaster?
So yeah, I would love to see a Red Dead Redemption, and this is the original one. You're saying? Yes, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to see that. The undead nightmares in that game was super duper dope, fun. Just that game in general was pretty wild. Running around with John Marston's, killing snakes. Getting chased by all different types of animals. Like, that was the first game where I was legit just running from a lot of different animals. I thought it was wild. Going hunting was pretty cool in that game.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously riding around on the horse, the scope and size of it, and like the GTA feel, but in the old West was very, very dope.
Yeah. Oh, Mike. Yeah, I unplugged because it was disconnecting. I unplugged my mic and plugged it back in. But that's what you were hearing there, bud. But yeah, I like Red Dead Redemption in general. Just the series is one of my favorite ever. Not even just in gaming, probably just in entertainment in general. There's a few games that I feel like that with, like Halo's up there, Red Dead's up there. Like, you could probably argue Fallout's up there as well, but Red Dead is very, very revered for me. I love that game. That's the first game that I ever that's the first game I played where I cared deeply about the story. Because up until that point, all I really played was like FPS games and sports games. And then I played this and I saw the ending of that and I was like, what the hell was that? The ending of that game was crazy. But yeah, I hope this is true. I hope we hear something about it soon. I mean, who knows when we're going to hear about this, even if it is true. But
right.
At the same time, I mean, there's another topic we have today. I hope it doesn't come out this year. Don't release this year because we don't need that. Let it come out 2024. Yeah, Hard Days Mike says Red Dead Redemption blew my mind. I 100% agree. That game was a masterpiece. It still is. And all they need to do really is just give me 60 FPS. Give me 60
no
FPS, and I will be happy. Because right now, if I play it on my Series X, it's 4K 30. It looks great. I just need 60 FPS. That's all I need. and I will be.
For an older game like that, that'd be fantastic.
Yes, I'd be ecstatic about that. But I did mention the second, or not the second, but the third topic, which might be a little long winded, but we'll try to get through it here. But there's a lot of games releasing this year. A lot of games releasing towards the back end of the year, and a lot of them are releasing very, very close to Starfield. Like shockingly close in a lot of cases. So much so that it's on the same day. And in one specific case. So I have a list here of games releasing near Starfield. Obviously there's more games in this, but like bigger games releasing in Starfield's window. You start it with Immortals of Avium August 22nd, Armored Core August 25th, Baldur's Gate literally the same day, Baldur's Gate 3 September 6th, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC September 27th, Mortal Kombat 1 September 19th, Spider-Man 2 October 20th, and Forza Motorsport October 10th. Ham, I know we talked about this a few times, and just in general, what do you make of all these games releasing, just like not really caring, just releasing whenever around like a game like Starfield, and what are your thoughts on that?
I don't see it.
I don't see I kind of agree with you on that, honestly.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like the game, there was one game that I was super excited to play. I was going to buy day one, and then it got too close to Starfield. It got delayed, got pushed too close to Starfield, and now it's looking like a 2024 game. And that game is Immortals of Avium. I was really looking forward to that game. It looks fantastic. It's going to be the first big Unreal Engine 5 game to come out from Ascendant Studios. Brett Robbins, the creator of Dead Space, is leading that studio to make that game. It's his first run at his own game under his own studio. So I was like very much so looking forward to it. Did my research about it a little bit and whatnot. And it was supposed to come out, I believe, July 27th.
Yeah.
Or 22nd or 21st or some the end of July.
Yes.
Is when the game was supposed to come out, and I was there for it, ready for it. And then and they had all these trailers for it on the PlayStation Showcase, on summer on the Summer Game Fest. They had commercials for it prior to the showcases. They even had a showcase about it just like last week or something, talking about it. But before that showcase of last week, they announced that they were moving and delaying the game to fix some issues on PC, I believe was a specific thing. And they ended up delaying it to August 22nd, yes, I believe.
August 22nd.
And with that, that only ends up being like 9 days away from Starfield, and I didn't want to purchase that game and feel like I had to blitz through it. I already have a ton of games that I'm okay to play for something like 9 days. 9 days isn't that it isn't 9 days is enough time to beat a game if I'm streamlining it and it's something that I'm kind of familiar with a little bit. Like I don't want to give something that I just spent $70 and say you have a time limit now.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that because I'm then making the experience rushed and not feel as comfortable as it should be, and I'm spending top dollar to do that. Like, that's a mistake I've made too many times before. I don't want to make it again.
Yes.
So with that being said, if Immortals of Avium's getting the push, then you better believe Cyberpunk DLC, although Cyberpunk's a dope game, that's getting pushed. Liza P pushed.
Oh my God, Liza P. I didn't even put her on the list.
Yeah,
Damn,
I forgot
dude.
what other games that you said off the top.
So Immortals of Avium, Armored
Boulder's
Core
Gate, I
6.
was never interested in. Yeah,
Same.
yeah. Armored Core, I was not that interested in it, anyways. I was already thinking maybe a sale for that
Sure.
game.
Mortal Kombat
What was
1.
what was some more? Oh yeah, I'm not interested in that either.
Forza Motorsport, and then the big one, obviously, being Spider-Man
Well,
2.
Forza Motorsport isn't until October.
That's true. That's very
Like,
true.
like what is it? October 10th?
October 10th.
So I feel like after a month and a week, I'd be okay with turning on something like Forza and giving it a few hours and then probably hopping right back into Starfield. Same thing with 10 days later from that day with Spider-Man. Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I think it's even more further out, and which is better for me because then I can really get my fill of Starfield almost like actually let's say about a month. It'll be a month and a half in by that time. I'll probably already have solidified a good direction in Starfield. I'll probably have a ship or a few, a crew. I'd probably already skyjacked several people, or not skyjacked, but like space thugging. Like I'm gonna be space thugging all over the place in that game, and it's gonna be great. But like I think after about a month and a half of that, I won't be tired of it, but I will be willing to try out something else. So like a Spider-Man will have time. Forza will eventually get more time. But within that first month, like Starfield just needs all the oxygen.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, see, for even like, you're talking about Spider-Man 2 and Forza Motorsport being okay because they're October. See, for me, I don't even I'll check both of those games out. I'll get Spider-Man 2 day one. That's not a question. Forza Motorsports and Game Pass, I have no issue checking that out. I just don't know that I can like boot up Spider-Man and say I'm gonna beat Spider-Man, and then I'll go back.
Well,
to
then why
Starfield.
buy it?
Well,
Why
that's
buy
a,
it?
that,
Because
that's
that's the same thing for me in Immortals of Avium. I just got done talking about. I'm saying I'm not going to buy it. You're saying you're going to buy Spider-Man.
yes. It's a good question. I mean, I part of me wants to say the reason for buying it would be in case I talk myself into just beating it. Because there's a part of me that's like, if I don't get it, it's gonna get spoiled somehow. And that's a game. Like if someone wants to spoil Immortals of Avium, that sucks. I hate to see it, but I don't think anyone's going to. But Spider-Man 2, if you get online, someone will spoil that game. Someone will 1,000% spoil that game. So
Okay.
I want it just in case I do get that itch to be like, you know what? I want to play Starfield, but I want to get through this. And I just go ahead and beat it. But yes, Mike, we did play Warhammer Dark Tide without you, bud. I do apologize. Don't feel bad, though, because the second game stunk that we played. The second game was not awesome. The first one was pretty great, though. The second one wasn't good. Nothing good was happening in that game. I was getting tossed around in that game. It wasn't fun. I died like 10 times in the last 5 minutes. It was bad.
You had a rough time playing that game. I thought it was a blast. I had a good time, although we were very underleveled for that second piece of the game for sure. Shout out to Mr. Jan Dark in the chat saying he said I'm going to be space thugging and loving in Starfield, pause, LOL. I'm going to be. You're not. It's not going to stop. I'm gonna be all over the place, spreading that thug and love. Gangstalicious.
Oh my god. It's gonna be a fantastic time. I'm gonna be a terrible. I'm gonna be a dirty ass pirate. I'm just gonna be a bad motherfucker. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait, man. But
Yep.
dude, as far as like, yeah, like these games releasing near Starfield, I mean, what? I guess the question is, what would you like for Cyberpunk? Like Cyberpunk, I'll definitely check that out. Again, I don't know if it's gonna pull me away from Starfield entirely. I just don't think that's really possible. Immortals of Avium, I've already decided. I mean, we talked about this. I've already decided. I want to support them. I hope that game does well, but I that's not a game I'm getting day one because it's too close to Starfield. And like you said, for the exact reason you said, I don't want to buy. I don't want to spend $70 on a game to just rush through it in a few days. If I'm spending $70 on a game, it's got to be a relaxing time to play it. I got to sit back, enjoy it, and have fun. And I'm not going to be able to do that with Immortals of Avium. I sure as hell ain't going to be able to do that with Armored Core 6. So that's on a sale. Baldur's Gate 3, don't care. Cyberpunk, again, I'll check it out. I'll be there. Mortal Kombat, don't care. Forza, I'll check it out. Spider-Man 2, obviously. Ham said Lies of P. I didn't even have that on the list. Lies of P, I'll check that out. That comes out. That was supposed to be in August, but I think they delayed that till September.
Yeah, it's like the end of September, I believe.
Yeah, I'll look that up. But dude, that's another game. I completely forgot about it. And see, that's the problem releasing near a game that big. It's like it's no disrespect to other games because your game is big. People are excited for it, but it's like when Bethesda releases a game, it kind of just makes everything stop. Other things kind of just get forgotten about, and that doesn't mean they're not good, but it's just unfortunately the way it is. Lies of P release date just tells me 2023. I mean, come on, give me an actual date. It's out in September. All right, it's out in September. 19th. Yeah. September 19th. Oh my god, that's actually even closer than Cyberpunk to Starfield. It's a ballsy move. But we also talked about this, Ham, like bringing up what, like, so let's say you're the developer of Lies of P. What would you do? Like, where do you delay this to? Do you just get it out of the year? Or do you just say, okay, we'll give you the month?
Just get it out of the year. Oh my god. No, I wouldn't say get it out of the year because it's not the game of the caliber of like Spider-Man or God of War or Gears of War. I mean, it's not something that people are expecting the run for game of the year, and I don't even think the publisher is. This is like I think it's their first game. Maybe it's not their first game, but I think it's their first game, and I mean, very much. I think they're in the same bucket as like an Immortals of Avium, where they have a lot to prove before they're competing in that aspect. So I don't think it matters when they drop the game. It's just surprising. Anything that's dropping near like Spider-Man or Starfield, it's kind of nuts. But we're not saying it's nuts for like Forza to drop, you know?
No.
And I'm not saying it's nuts for like a Lies of P to come out either, or here's Exo Primal that's about to be coming out soon after Final Fantasy. We all know Final Fantasy is much more anticipated than the Exo Primal, right? But it's still coming out. It's coming day and date to Game Pass as well, and I don't think anyone's gonna bat an eye for it because it looks like something fun, and I don't think too many people have with the ability of this game to be played on Game Pass and stuff like that, people don't have to look to double check their wallets, see if they want to play it or not. They can just download it and play it through Game Pass. And if you really need to buy it, you can buy it on PlayStation or Xbox, I believe. No, wait a second. I think Liza P is just coming out on Xbox, isn't it?
Nope, comes out on PS5 as well.
Okay, so there you go. So I was right the first time.
Yeah.
So you can just buy it over there if that's what you want to do, and you got the option.
Yes, and you brought up a good point about Game Pass. I feel like I don't bat an eye at Forza Motorsport. I don't really bat an eye at Liza P. You mentioned Exo Primal coming out around the same time as Final Fantasy 16. I don't really bat an eye at this stuff because it's like
Redfall came out around the time of Zelda. You know, if Redfall would have ended up being a good game, I don't think we would have batted an eye at that either. You know,
that's true.
It's just where are you gonna fit all these games, especially when they're ready to go, and the people that are investing in the game want to see it get sold. Where else are you going to put it? What are you going to wait until next year? I mean, next year could be possibly the same situation.
100%.
So what would you want to wait for? What would be the point?
100%. I mean, the only thing on this list that, and it's a game that, I'm not really even interested in, is Baldur's Gate 3. That's the ballsiest move ever, to just be like, oh, you're releasing Starfield? We're also releasing our RPG the exact same day as you. That's they got to be feeling
that
confident.
Is interesting.
They got to be feeling confident. Obviously, different types of RPGs. I believe Baldur's Gate is more top down, more turn-based combat and everything. So different experiences, but at the same time, it's just a ballsy move. It's a very confident move.
It is, but so was Elden Ring. Elden Ring was a confident move with a few other games that were launched around that time, being Horizon Forbidden West and Gran Turismo. So there you go with your main first party game, and then another first party car game launching close to a third party IP that's supposed to be large. Hey, I think it's ballsy for Baldur's Gate, but ballsy for Baldur's Gate on Xbox. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't even know about Baldur's Gate on Xbox because apparently they're still struggling.
I don't think it's too ballsy for PC because PC is just so widespread.
True. Well, and people are already playing Baldur's Gate 3 on PC right now. I think there's early access or something.
There you go.
Yep.
But even if it did launch the same day on PC, I think it'd be still kind of a non-issue. And then on top of that, obviously it's a non-issue for the PS5 because they don't have Starfield to play. So it's ballsy, but at the same time I kind of get it. It's like, yo, in a way I think it's kind of smart for something that's really popular to come out, and then something that's popular to come out for other platforms, because it's kind of like, okay, well, the crowd is really hungry, obviously, due to this game, but in case you can't have that game, here is an alternative that is really, really, really grand, has a big name, has a long story. I mean, it's definitely an alternative for some. It wouldn't be an alternative for me because I'm not into turn-based.
100%. Same here. I mean,
but for some, I'm seeing a lot of people that seem to be new or possibly becoming fans of this game. So
yeah.
I'm 100% behind something like that. It's cool.
Go fix that PC, Mike. Go go fix your PC, bud.
Or
Uh,
go, get your PS5 back.
yeah, or sell it and get a couple PS5s. I mean, that PC's got to be worth what, $1,000? You can get two PS5s for that.
Yeah,
You get two PS5s for that, Mike. That's
it's
not
like a
bad.
G.
That's a good deal, honestly. But yeah, there's a few more things I wanted to talk about. This one, I know a lot of people care about this game here, but I want to bring this up because there was an interview recently with a few of the original developers of Banjo Kazooie, and they mentioned they don't think there's an audience for this game. Like, if people clamor for this game to come back, but they think realistically there is not an audience for it. I already know how I feel about this. Ham, do you have any interest in Banjo Kazooie coming back?
Kind of. I mean, I have a little bit for myself to play, but I definitely would like to introduce that game to my daughter all new and
Yeah,
fresh.
true.
That would be amazing. So I'm interested in it for a couple different reasons, but I'm not dying to play it by any means. It's not
Yeah.
it's not something that I have to see Xbox take advantage of. No.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat, honestly. Like, I if you told me today that they were doing a Banjo Kazooie game, I my reaction genuinely would be okay. Okay. It's like, I mean,
I think I'd be a little bit more excited than that. Jeez Louise. I think I'd
that
be like, oh, let's go. But I don't think I'd be
see,
like,
I can't muster that for Banjo because, like, I don't have any nostalgia for, like, there's so many games I don't have nostalgia for because I was such a basic gamer when I grew up. I played like NBA Live, 2K, Halo. Eventually, Call of Duty happened. You know, I played Spyro and stuff on PS1, but like outside of that, I really basic, just super basic until about 2012. So I don't. I just missed out on all this nostalgia. I missed out on a lot of it. So like I know tons of people would be ecstatic for it. There's so many people I see in the community who would love a Banjo Kazooie, a new Banjo Kazooie game, or even just a remake. You hear people talk about it all the time, but it's just like, for me, I hope it's good if they do it, but I don't know if I'm not there day one for it. Might check it out. It's in Game Pass anyway, but like, yeah. I mean, I just thought it was interesting that you had developers on the original Banjo Kazooie saying that they just don't think there's an audience for it. Meanwhile, that's like the exact opposite you hear when you get on Twitter.
right.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of trippy to hear. As for, let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up this. I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot of news on it, but we can speculate. August
What up,
23rd.
Plume?
Oh, Plume Network. What's up, man? August 23rd to August 27th, Xbox and Bethesda join Gamescom. So, do you think, like, obviously the big show was their showcase. Do you think there's any chance we see anything big at Gamescom from Xbox or Bethesda?
Big? No.
Okay.
I don't think we get anything big, but I think we do get a few announcements sprinkled in that are going to be surprising, but I just don't think it'll be anything that we're just like, oh my God. I mean, like isn't Gamescom in August, right?
August 23rd to the
Late
27th.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're so if anything, they're gonna pump people up for Starfield.
That's true. Give another developer direct for Starfield.
I think they're gonna show off like maybe something else of that game, or I mean, there's just so much to do in Starfield. I wouldn't be surprised if they go maybe a little in depth off of just one piece of it or something like that. But I think we'll see that. I wouldn't be surprised if we seen more of like Forza or something like that, or better yet, some of these smaller games like Liza P or something like that in there. So I'm not expecting any big new news, but I am expecting like just a little sprinkle of, oh, maybe this is coming to Game Pass now or something like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, that was my kind of thoughts on it. Is I don't see big news happening here, but I could see some Game Pass announcements happening here. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, Gamescom. Don't they say like Gamescom is technically like the biggest show, like the biggest game show? Like I always thought it was E3, but I swear I remember people saying that it was like Gamescom, technically, just like the size of it.
Oh, I'm not sure. I know it's like a big international show, but I don't know if it's like bigger than E3 was or anything. I thought E3 was bigger, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll have obviously stuff to show. I mean, if they're showing up, they got stuff to show. I wouldn't be too surprised if, like you said, we see more stuff from Starfield. But you know, Game Pass announcement, maybe a look at Lies of P, maybe another look at Forza. I'm trying to see if they talk about Starfield. I want to see what the hell that magic stuff was at the end of that Starfield Direct.
I think everybody wants to figure out what the heck that was, you know.
Because I'm super interested in that. I need to find that out like immediately. But I have a feeling we're going to be waiting until we play the game for that, and I don't mind that honestly. But I would like to hear about it. I would definitely like to hear about it. But I mean, God, man, I think we've covered all topics. I think we've covered all topics today. At this point, we're about what, an hour and 11 minutes in. I mean, that's a quick show. It's a quick show.
The first show usually always is.
That's a good point. That's a good point. If it felt quick, it was fun. I had a good time. It woke me up. It definitely woke me up. I'll say that. I feel good after that. But Ham, we're gonna get into outros. Where can people find you? Where can they check you out?
So my channel, TSWS Gaming. I'm the person called TSWS Gaming in the chat. So if you've been talking in there at all, that's me that keeps popping up in there. I do shows pretty much Monday through Friday. And we will be having a show tomorrow with Sean from WBG. We Bleed Green show with Dirt Griggity and all those cats.
Nice.
Really good dude. But it'll be an earlier show than usual tomorrow because he lives overseas from me. So I'm just trying to accommodate for his time because he's like five hours ahead of me. So instead of it being like a 7 o'clock show, it's going to be more like 1 or 2 o'clock, depending on where you live in the United States. I think it's going to be 2 o'clock. So make sure you guys pull up for that. And then if you want to see more of Matt, you'll see him either here, obviously, but also on my channel on Fridays for Bullshit. And we do a panel show. Me, Matt, Loke, Cozy, and whoever our guest is. I believe our guest this week is Doomsayers, which will be very interesting because he is a pony. But anyways, It was fantastic. Thank you for having me on here, Matt. This is a good first episode.
Thank you.
Good way to kick it off.
Yes.
We'll definitely get some things ironed out, and the show will just continue to get better through time.
Yes, 100%. And I want to thank anybody who stopped by in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. Means a lot to me. This is the first episode. We're gonna be doing this every week, same time every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central Time for Ham over there in the time zone that doesn't matter. But
the Lord's time.
It's not true. Don't listen to that nonsense. This man's Satan. But it was a fun episode. It was a fun episode. As for where you can find me, I mean, you're already here. You know, you guys know this. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Video Monday, video Friday. We'll have the podcast on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. same time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But there will be content up on my channel, so you can check that out. You can follow me over on Twitter at MatLexGames. Same thing, I guess. If you're on Threads, follow me there. But I don't think anyone's there yet. So that's where you can find me. Thank you for watching the show. We will see you next time.